as the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. CTV, the sports await. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. The CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune it in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports await. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trunapole, and as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the best tailgate around. That's right. I'm talking about the Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell at Moorine Lager House, the pregame experience. It starts 3 hours before every single Bengals home game. I'm telling you, it's the best deal on the banks. You get it. An open bar, two of the greatest words in the English language, open bar, a beautiful food spread. So all you can drink, all you can eat, and it's only $75. That's it. It's awesome. I'm there. I got to do a pregame show. We got Tim, the DJ, there playing the tunes. It's a freaking party. So check it out at Moorine Lager House, all their social media platforms, and you can get your tickets right there. Also, tomorrow night, I'll be live at the Moorine Lager House from 6 to 8. We'll have Jay Morrison on there, along with, Joe Schmo, and Neil's going to be there. We're talking some Bearcat basketball as well. So join us there from 6 to 8. The happy hour starts from 3, goes till 9. What's that mean? That means $5 drafts, house wines, and well drinks, and $2 off appetizers. Also, you can get the delicious prime rib. It's Prime Rib Tuesdays at the Moorine Lager House, so make sure you guys check that out. I'd appreciate it. And just shout out to all my sponsors out there. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Check them out. They're all going to pop up down here on the banners. There they are. See, so check those guys out. They're all great sponsors to the show. What's up to everybody in the chat? We've got Strangers in there first. Brad's in there. Tony Bladen's in there. Paul Painter's in there. Rocket Bengal's in there. Big Marshall's in there. And Joey Carr. What up? T. Brookie just made it in. What's going on? How you doing? All right, we are celebrating a Bengals victory Monday. It's awesome. I love winning, and I'm waiting for, if you're wondering, I'm waiting for Cap and Corey. Neither one of them are in the waiting room, so I'm hoping they're going to show up because it's Monday. It's 5:30. It's ice time. Where are they at? But how do you guys feel? We're not out of the woods by any means. We got to win Thursday. Eric All, unfortunately, got an injury. He's out with an ACL. He's out for the rest of the year. So that sucks. T. Higgins still they're practicing, I think, tomorrow. But T. Higgins doubtful. Orlando Brown's doubtful. I think Zach Moss is definitely not playing. He's got a neck injury. So there's still a lot of injuries. It's it's still a long shot, but we still got a shot. We win Thursday. We are 2-1 in the division, and we're 500, and we're back in this thing. So it's not a great shot, but it's a shot. I mean, yesterday was awesome. The Bengals won 41-24 over the Raiders. Jackpot Joey had 5 touchdowns, people. They scored 41 points. Now, this is what they're going to have to do. And they did this without T. Higgins, which I love T, but it makes me feel better that they're able to score 41 points without him because the offense just has not looked as good without T. And he's been he has not been. I think they were 0-3, 0-4 without him. Now they finally won. Gesicki played awesome. Chase Brown, I think, is our number one running back. I think he established himself. And did you guys notice yesterday, or was it just me, that they were running up the middle a lot? And I know Dale was talking about how good their offensive line, interior offensive line for the Raiders was compared, or excuse me, their defensive line was compared to ours. And, okay. Hold on a second. I got to send Cap a link. For some reason, he can't get in. I don't know what's going on. 1 second here. This is what we do when we have live podcasts. Oh, hey, that's not what I want to do. Got her. Hold on. If I could see. What is it doing here? Hold on. That's the one I want. Sorry. If I guessed, copy. Bam, bam. All right. So I sent that to Cap. So hopefully Cap will be joining us. But yeah, I was very excited with the way the offense played. Trey Hendrickson was a freaking beast. Trey Hendrickson was Trey Hendrickson. Now, hopefully, the Bengals will make a trade and go get Max Crosby. I've been saying that for a couple weeks. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'll take Jadeveon Clowney. We need another pass rusher. At least get Trey some help. That would be unbelievable. And speaking of the devil, he has made it into the waiting room. He is my choice for Fan of the Year, and I think he's going to be a lot more happier today than he was last Monday. He is the one, the only. He is Bengals Captain. What's going on, Cap?
A little bit. Just a little bit.
A little happier? A little happier.
That was fun.
That was a fun blast, dude. I that whole game I wasn't worried. I mean, that whole game it was just a nice, easy, fun win for once.
Exactly. Joe threw a pick six, and I kind of laughed. I was like, whatever. You know, they get a highlight. Out of that entire game, they get a little extra highlight. Like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
So this is. I'm just checking out the comments here. Michael Mayd, I have not heard this. He said, anyone hearing Chase Young coming to Cincinnati? I have not heard that, but I'll take it.
ML Football, a couple other places said, that we could be a destination. Apparently our name is listed and hey,
Hey, that's fine. And the funny thing is, this would crack me up because I remember I did have some arguments with people back in 2020 or 2019, 2020, 2020 when we drafted Joe. People were like, "Oh, you need defense. You got to get him." Like, no, you need to go get that quarterback. And then it'd be funny if he actually ends up, if Chase Young actually ends up coming here, which we'd have three guys named Chase on the team. So that would be interesting. But dude,
but we can't do anything fun like we did with the Johnsons.
Yeah, I know. Well, we had three Johnsons and one Big Willie. Yeah,
exactly. Cool. we got to think it. We got to chat, work on that for us.
Yeah, that was perfect. Jackpot Joey threw 5 touchdowns, baby. And like I said before you got here, we did this without T. Higgins in the lineup. And that, I think, is more impressive. Because I don't know about you, Cap, but the offense has sputtered more without T. Yesterday, they were cooking.
Only this year, though. Because, again, like I said, because Dan Orlovsky had posted in week 1 that, oh, my God, this offense is so broken that they have to have 2 elite receivers. I'm like, that doesn't sound right because we've hummed before. And the offense with just T, there was a big drop-off in touchdowns per game from Joe. But both of them in compared to just Jamar, it was like 0.1 higher with just Jamar. So we've done well in the past.
Right.
When it comes down to receivers have to get open. And Jamar is good. He said it. He's always oh, man, I pressed the wrong button. Open. I'll be back. Hold on. I pressed the wrong.
Beep.
Goodness.
Wrong button.
Exactly.
Oh, goodness. So I see here. I want to put up T. Brookie's comments here. I like this. T. Brookie says, betting sites, Bravo says, we are the odds-on favorite to get Chase Young. I'm here for it. I mean, Chase Young isn't as dominant. Hey, you're back. Chase Young isn't as dominant as he used to be, but we have a dominant guy. We just need another guy on the other side to get pressure up the field. If we get Chase Young, let's go. I'll take him.
And hey, I think dominant in the reps we would need him. Mm-hmm. You know, we rotate a lot.
Right.
And I think he would be a perfect fit to make some noise right now with what we're seeing with pass rush being a major issue for us. And it's not that it hasn't been in the past. I mean, hey, all y'all who've been concerned about that in the past, and I mean, I think if we look at it, there have been times where that would have been a good trade or good try, free agency pick it, whatever. Maybe not. Now, hey, because we are so far behind, we painted ourselves in a corner. I say, yeah, you reach a little bit. You make those splashes if you can.
Yeah.
And
I don't think
it
costs us that much to get him. I think we get him for 6-round picks. I mean, I don't think, because he's not the dominant player he was. So that's where I think he could. But the bad thing that came out of yesterday's game is Eric All tore his ACL, which I feel so bad for that kid. I'm like, he's healthy, playing great, and then he goes to tear his ACL. I don't even know if it's the same knee or not. I'm not sure if it is, or it's the other knee. Either way, it still sucks.
Somebody knows. Let us know. Was it the same knee or not?
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't
he's
check.
Playing great. He's gonna be the future. Prayers up that it's perfect surgery, the best recovery ever. I mean, things have changed, and now that he's in the NFL, he's got access to doctors and surgeons that he didn't before.
Rob says same knee. Damn,
same
that
knee.
sucks.
Damn.
Ugh.
You know
That
what?
sucks.
They're just gonna do it better this time.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the only thing when I hear that, the thing I go back to is the rule of the jungle we just had this past weekend. Tyler Eifert, he could not stop being injured because he was a legit Pro Bowl tight end, and he could not get away from the injury bug. And hopefully Eric All doesn't fall into that same trap, but he had it in college, and unfortunately it's kind of fun. That's why he wasn't drafted as high as he probably could have been, because people were worried about his injuries. But Mike Gesicki, him and Burrow got something going, dude. He went from the kind of the forgotten guy to the number one tight end target, I think, now.
Yeah, and of course I benched him in my draft.
Of course you did.
I drafted him solely because I wanted to be able to name the team White Boy Gritty, and we got to see the White Boy Gritty.
We got to see the greatest White Boy Gritty there is.
And then Jamar Chase just in the background, like, laughing. Oh,
it was awesome. It was fun. It was so cool. I mean, that Trey Henderson was Trey. He was blackout Trey yesterday. He was dominant. I mean, that I retweeted and I saw you quote tweet the same thing, where he just blew that left tackle up, ran his ass over, dude.
That was a large man that he moved a very long distance. And I'm like, man, more and more people say it. I'm not going to say that I was the first, but, being around the team, seeing some of the guys, how they interact and things like that, and this idea, like, Trey is such a good dude. When we went bowling with the defensive line, he couldn't make it because he's celebrating his birthday. Completely perfect reason to miss. But we're talking to Sam.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's he like? Oh, he's a really, really nice guy. Like over the top, nice dude. Very humble, very God fearing, just a good dude. And I'm like, the fans look at him and we know he's a good dude, but then he'll walk off the field or he'll go to the sidelines and it looks like he's got like pent up issues, like somebody wronged him,
dude,
like stole his candy as a child. And it looks like at any moment he's going to just start crying like tears of anger and rip everyone in half.
Dude, I saw two. It wasn't this past training camp. I think it was training camp before that, where I was down on the field. I was over in the corner where I used to normally stand at training camp, And I'm like, all right. I was like, all right, let's go, Trey. Have a good practice or something. And he gives me one of these. And I'm like, whoa, he's about to kill me. He was in game mode. I'm like, whoa. I said, that's blackout Trey right there, dude.
He's a nice dude, but I love the fact that he legit looks like a murderer. Like, man, I mean, think about I get it. He gave his all during that first AFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. But you think back to him sitting on the bench, like Jamar's crying, guys are celebrating, and he's just staring. It's like I just imagine he's going through the list of people from that game. He's going to murder in their sleep.
I'm going to kill you. I'm going to get right. Exactly.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. He's got another gear that a lot of people just don't have.
Well, it's
Myles Garrett's a freak.
Yeah. I saw the Twitter here. You got to meet Kevin this weekend.
Yeah. But that was great. And he didn't just come out and say it. I didn't.
He tell you had a great beard,
Kevin. And then we talked a little bit more. I'm like, then it dawned on me.
You're like, Kevin! Oh, hey!
It was good to meet you, buddy. Yeah. Good to meet you.
And
by the way,
yeah,
Jess, I think Mike's only been forgotten because Eric was playing so well. Yeah, now Mike will have a chance to step up. Good call. Absolutely good call. And I hopped in, and right now I do not have the ability to go through chat. So you're doing a damn good job.
Yeah, what the hell happened? Why couldn't you get in?
We'll diagnose that everywhere. It's always a quiet, nice house. Yeah, I mean, seriously, Jeffrey Dahmer was quiet. He was nice.
Okay, for the record, we're not saying Trey Henderson is Jeffrey Dahmer.
I'm not saying
for the record.
People. I'm not saying Trey's eating people, but he ate that left tackle's lunch.
Exactly. Oh, he crushed him, dude. Michael Madden says, I like Burrow is still pissed even with a huge win. That's what I'm saying. And that whole thing, you quote tweeted it, and I did too, where he's fist bumped Zach, and like, oh, look what he's doing, Zach. Like, no, he's laser focused, dude. That's focus, brother.
Talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead. That's laser focused, bro.
Chat, everybody, blow up the comments. I've said it a million times, and I get heat for it, and I knew I'd get heat, but I'm like, I don't care. You are allowed to just jump off the deep end with whatever take you want. But we just won. We won big. Burrow had a huge game. And some of these people just the hate for Zach is so
well, we got one here. Jocko. Burrow is sick of Zach's shit. I don't agree with that whatsoever. Right there. That's not even close. Sorry, Jocko. No.
I mean, Jocko could be sarcastic right now. Like,
he hopefully be sarcastic.
The people doing, posting clip for, some of it's for engagement. Some of it's, they really feel that way. But for me, what's dangerous about what it does to the fan base is it perpetuates that idea. And then we jump to that weird conclusion right off the bat. Now, they've had disagreements over play calls. They've had disagreements over plays and design, all that stuff.
Which they're going to. That's normal.
Dating back to his rookie season, yes, you want to have that conversation. Joe Burrow is not a pushover. Zach is also not a dictator. If you look at that offense, there is a reason that he was in shotgun almost all the time. Go back, look up the article where LSU moved to like 97% shotgun, and Joe said, I love it. Like, I'm so excited to be here because this is the type of offense I've ran throughout my entire life up to that point. He loves. So we molded the offense to fit Joe through Joe's input there. And people are going to say, life is easier if you don't jump to crazy conclusions. But then you get to people who just go along with it. And I said, no, that's not. And then what happens? Joe, a post-game presser, comes out, clears the air. He was locked in. The dude was on fire. And every single almost could have been touchdown he wanted back. Now, did Zach have to do with any of the issues that day? It could have been one or two decisions or whatever. Did other players have? Yeah, could have been one or two plays or whatever. He said it's a combination of things. He really only talked about some of the specific plays, and we saw how close he was to Jamar a couple times. Joe Goodberry posted just recently I retweeted one where somebody let the rusher right through, and he had Jamar. It would have been a touchdown. The pass was way off the target because he's getting pulled. What was that comment you just threw up there?
So Rob said he put together a video of Burrow. He said he looked disgusted.
Dude, yeah, man, he did because he could have. I mean, hell, he could have thrown for 500 yards. He could have thrown 7 touchdowns. He could have broke records. The way he was playing, he could have broke records. And there were some easy things that they missed execution on that he was upset with, and he called it out. Like, it is what it is. But
he was perfection,
the idea
dude.
that
That's the thing.
Yeah, the face he made was, he is 100% fed up with that. That's not what happened, and I don't understand.
I don't see how people are saying it.
Some of the people saying it don't understand when their wife is mad. They don't understand. They miss a.
Hey, can you explain that to me? Because sometimes I don't know when Mrs. Ice is mad at me.
For real. So. But people trying to see through the TV screen. Oh, I know exactly.
Well, that's what cracks me up. And look, hey, like I said, everybody have their own opinion. You think that's cool, but I look at some of the stuff going. Like last week, they're like, he's like, it's not my job. Which, yeah, I think he's frustrated. Yeah, do I think he wants them to do something? Yes. Do I think he's fed up with it? No. Do I think he's going to quit and not want to be a Bengal? No. That's how I think people go to the extreme. I'm like, they're not winning. They weren't playing good. Of course, he's frustrated. That's what I was trying to say last week. And but yeah, and so Anthony here.
Rebecca, I don't know. There's locked in. There's looks to discuss. There's both with Joe Burrow. There's both. I'm telling you, I have not had but a handful of conversations with the dude, but I've read a lot, and some of the intellectual testing in relation to the football field, some of the comments that he's made, some of the I'm guessing too, but that dude just screams to me someone who he was feeling it. He was feeling it yesterday, and when people were not as locked in as him, he's going to be disgusted. So yeah, he can be both. T. Brookie, Zach, and Joe are very tight. Absolutely agree.
Anthony, I won't disagree with you, Cap, but I do think at some point Zach should consider giving him full play, calling duties over Dan Pitcher. His in-game awareness is a bit of a concern. Which, I mean,
I think the end game awareness, if something doesn't work out and it's at the end of the game, then we can say, hindsight 2020. I've seen Coach Reed do some stuff that's crazy, and then everyone forgets because Mahomes ends up doing something spectacular. Somebody else makes a block. Something happens, and it's awesome. Now, I'm not saying that Zach can't improve. Zach can improve. Pitcher can improve. Burrow can improve. Everybody on the team, and you and me can improve. I
can always improve.
Yeah, we all can. I get it. There could be specific things. Now, personally, if I'm a head coach, I am not calling plays. I want to be above everything. That does not mean that he should, because guess what? Andy Reid calls plays. What we don't know and what I don't know how much Dan Pitcher is actually calling the plays, because people act like...
I'd say they would boys up Brian Callahan, too. So it's... Yeah.
Think. Everyone said, well, I shouldn't say everyone. We get these takes where Zach needs to give up this or that. It's based on this premise that Dan Pitcher does not call plays, which you go back to Callahan. It's like, okay, so people said the same thing about Callahan, and he's head coach of the Tennessee Titans. You mean to tell me he got a job as head coach of the Tennessee Titans, not ever calling a play? No.
What I said, too.
Callahan admitted the throwback to Tyler Boyd, where Tyler Boyd was going to throw a pass. He threw a pick instead. That was Callahan's play call. Callahan admitted that later. Everybody ripped Zach for it. Callahan later admitted in a separate conversation that was his play call.
There you go.
I don't know who's calling what right now. I really don't.
I'm not in their headsets. I wish I was.
Yeah. I wish it wasn't a conversation.
Answer Jeremy here. Eric All, he's done for the year. Jeremy, if you missed, I said at the beginning of the show, he's tore his ACL again in the same knee. So I wanted to just get that for you because the chat is blowing up. I love it. So I'm trying to get.
Yeah, Rebecca, there are more than a few looks to discuss. Oh, yeah, there were. But if you watch him during a game, there are always some looks of disgust. Anytime that something goes wrong, there are looks of disgust. If you ask me what he could have been frustrated with, he got mad at Karras after a missed block. There you go.
That's the perfection stuff we're talking about. That's what he wants.
And it's funny because somebody was ripping like the fan base on social media. I'm sorry, we're in shambles. We were in shambles. We're less at right now because we won. It feels good. But
we all come back together when we
I
win.
saw Coach Minnick talk about like one of the bullet points of Joe could be a more active leader. And we look back at Tom Brady being the GOAT, the one that everybody aspires to be. Hey, Mahomes has had phenomenal defenses to help him. He's had Rob Duncan Joseph on the sideline looking like Tom Brady. He threw a touchdown to Gesicki night. Rob, perfect timing. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jeff, for finding that. Because Tom Brady, we've heard it from Corey Dillon himself. If you made a mistake, yeah, showing fire, exactly. When somebody made a mistake, Tom Brady lit their ass up.
That's what Joe's starting to do, I think. That's what we
want.
want.
Not always been Joe.
No.
It's been something. It's been part of him, but at the same time, like I get it. In my job right now, I've literally been told, step back, let some people make their own mistakes. And it is so frustrating. But then you kind of get complacent in letting that happen. And then recently I'm like, F this, I'm tired of it. I'm calling people out. And I've overstepped my boundaries a few times. I've gotten talked to on the side. But you know what? We're moving in the right direction. We're getting the things done that we need to get done. I see the same thing with the Bengals. I see the same thing with Burrow. The man could have some imposter syndrome. Like he's confident, but he could also have those doubts. Like I bet that guy is in his head a lot, thinking about everything. The dude's got to be a genius. I really do believe he's a genius. And with that comes all kinds of stuff. Right now, I feel like something's clicking. Like he knows these people respond to him in a way that they're not going to respond to any coach on the team, any coach anywhere, even a Bill Belichick. It happened with New England. Bill Belichick was the guy he was. But you know who got people whipped into shape? Tom Brady.
Exactly.
You didn't piss off Tom Brady, or Tom Brady was on your ass. And Joe Burrow had that look. Joe Burrow, to throw the game ball back, I mean, everybody said, I'm telling, and I've heard rumors that there could be a little bit of partying. You know, I'm not saying it's from any credible, not credible, whatever. It's just, okay, maybe some guys were not as locked in as Burrow, and Burrow's tired of it. It's going to mean good things. I know we're nervous going into Thursday. I'm going to be nervous going into Thursday, but I like where Joe is mentally, and all of those looks that we saw on the sideline, every single one of them is good for us.
So I got a question for you. You like to do graphics and everything? Have you seen all this stuff that Joey Carr's done?
Oh, yeah.
Looks good. Did you see the beginning of the new intro? Did you see that?
I did not. I was sweating trying to get in.
Let me show you this.
I look like that left tackle
getting blown up.
Get in and then getting sat on my ass.
Let me show you. I'm just going to play the first 2 seconds of it. I think it's cool as hell. But check this out. What Joey Carr's hooked me up with ZTV. Isn't that badass?
Good production value.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I look like a real legit show now. That's pretty cool. I had to throw that up there. But there, let's see here. There was Joe here. I want to get his comment up here. I always like Joe's comments. Joe throws 5 touchdowns. We win. Is Joe happy? Is Joe happy? Probably, but he wants more upset.
More upset is his interception return. Yeah, Joe's
thank you.
So locked in. He's a leader. Hey, again, Joe, always bringing fire. Appreciate you.
Sorry, I can't. I'm screwing to read up the comment, but yeah.
Absolutely agree. Like, so I just recently, same thing here. And again, I'm not Joe Burrow. I cannot throw the balls he throws. Blue Jackets, hey Jeff, go see Blue Jackets play. Yeah, I know you. I see you, Kevin.
Hey,
I like that. Account and the logo there too.
The Blue Jackets,
Kevin.
So Kevin, if you're watching, which I know you are, I will be at the outdoor game, the one that's gonna be up at Ohio State. I already got my tickets.
I want to do that too,
dude.
Let's do it.
Dude, get your tickets. Well, it's close for you for once. I have to drive toward you, but dude, I have watched like when Chandler, my son, played hockey. He got to play an outdoor game at Soldier Field in Chicago. It was cool as hell. So I'm totally looking forward to that. So I can't wait for that. And yes, Ross, I'm with you. I want a payback for Baltimore. Exactly.
Oh yeah, man. You know what? I don't know what they talk about, but I hope they play the post game and hear all those Joey Carr, hear all those fans chanting Joe Burrow. Like,
yeah.
Play that. So
they should play that before the game. Let the Bengals hear that. Like, all right.
The tenacity of the offensive line, because I saw some questions about should they have basically incurred a 15-yard penalty that offset the 15-yard penalty we got for Max hitting Burrow.
Right.
And I know that's not specifically what they're saying, but it's like you got to be careful. We are backed into a hole so badly that Burrow said, "Hey, no, I wouldn't want to offset that. We just gained 15 yards." Burrow doesn't care. Like I honestly think Burrow will fight Max or whoever himself. He doesn't need the offensive line, and I think the offensive line has that mentality that they would. I've seen Teddy go after. Don't ever question.
Remember the Tennessee game?
Oh,
remember that? Yeah,
that man was ready to scrap. They did the right thing by not doing something and accidentally drawing a flag. So yeah, hey, you want to get them fired up? Show them the chant.
Mm-hmm.
The F Joe Burrow. Yep. Holmes, what do you think, guys, think about Jermaine Burton pulling up no call, no show during Saturday walkthrough?
It's not good. It's not good.
People brought up Pac-Man, and Pac-Man, a lot of stuff was off the field. I bring up Tyler Boyd. Good, look it up. And I'm not saying that to be lazy, but there are a lot of different articles. Since the Jungle had an article, ESPN had an article. Kevin, see it the Blue Jackets outdoor game. Hey, Jeff's going. I'm going with him. But you look at those articles, and Tyler Boyd was confused as to why he was a healthy scratch. Marvin Lewis said that it was kind of like it wasn't because of any lingering issue. He was healthy. It was something going on, and I think there's another article out there that's saying he wasn't taking some of the stuff very seriously. And bam, he got set. Look at what he did. I totally believe Jermaine. So when I say, hey, I agree with the healthy scratch.
Jockey says there's pictures of him at a casino, so I don't know. I didn't know anything about this till after the game. Well, I saw Burton when I was at the game. I saw him on the jumbotron, and I saw him in street clothes. I'm like, oh, he didn't dress. I didn't know anything about Saturday until I got home.
That goes along with the rumor that I hear that maybe some people are out a little late, a little too late, whatever.
That might be what it was pissing Joe off.
And you got to think, okay, Jermaine Burton has survived on talent alone for so long, and it's a little different in the NFL now.
You can't do that. Hey, talent will get you here. You got to work when you get to the NFL.
The way my brain works and functions is not always normal. It's not always proper. I got to figure some stuff out. I still make mistakes to this day. I used to have a problem being late and missing stuff a lot. And a mentor gave me some really good advice. It basically told me, like, what you're doing is just prioritizing your time over your career. Your time right now, like playing a video game and want to get one more game in. He's like, you're prioritizing that game, which does nothing for you for the rest of your life that's ahead of you. Like, what's more important to you? Like, it hit me. It really. Jermaine Burton could be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. Talent-wise, absolutely.
He could put in his time, have multiple rings.
He's got to get his head out of his ass.
His next contract comes up. If it's in Cincy, it's out of Cincy, doesn't matter. He could be a multi-millionaire. And we've seen players have issues with that. Chris Henry had some, issues. Then right when he's getting his life back together, unfortunately he passes. Jermaine Burton's got everything in front of him. I do believe it will click for him.
I hope.
The players are going to help him. The guys are going to help him. And I just saw, who was it? Rob Duncan, thank you. Teddy's saying he regrets not confronting Max. Hey, I'm glad because, man, I'm telling you, Teddy would have went off. I feel like Teddy's a dude that he starts and then Max chirps back and then, bam, we got a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Did we need it that day? No. Like, we could have probably afforded it at 15, but you know what? I don't think anybody doubts Teddy and his ability to stand up for Joe. So
exactly. Let's see. All right, Paul Payne here says Burton went from a high school to a later 3 for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah, he went from high 2 to late 3
Sorry,
for
high 2. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, and we're willing to put that work in to get him in the fold.
And that's the thing. They took chances, two chances. One was an all, which worked until he got injured. And the other one was a Burton. Those are two chances they took on draft picks, which this regime of the Bengals doesn't do it as much as we did with Marvin Lewis. And sometimes it worked with Marvin Lewis. A lot of times it didn't. So that's what was the difference this year. Which Burton's got all the talent in the world, and they're going to give him enough time either to hang himself or go or take off. One of the two.
I love seeing the interaction with him and Joe Burrow. It looked awkward. It looked painful, but like you didn't see you saw just a glimpse of Burton walking off, and his hey, you want to start talking about what somebody looks like, what they're thinking. He looked serious, and he walked off, and it looked like whatever that interaction was, it looked like Burton took note. Michael Madden, Burton needs to live with pay. Corey can't miss practices. Yeah. Hey, that's what I would do because, man, Jermaine, if somehow you listen, I'm telling you what.
Dude, all the Bengals watch my show. Don't you know that, Cap?
I'm 47 years old. My 40s were more fun than my 30s. My 30s were more fun than my 20s. You are making third-rounder money. Bro, hey, I know for a fact a lot of these younger players, they're at the clubs. They're looking for the women. The women are looking for them. I'm telling you, you will get
you get them after the season.
After the season, but you know what? Even better, hold off any decisions. You find somebody that you can settle down with, hold off and date for a long time after you get that second contract.
Caps tell you to sow your royal oats.
Slow down. Like Joe Burrow's doing it right. He is focused, locked in on football. There is a time and a place. Like relationships were. I met my wife in my 30s, and man, thank goodness that I didn't end up with a number of the other girls prior to her. I'd have been in a world of hurt. Y'all would know my name. I've
heard about some of them.
I might have had 9 kids, and I don't know how to put out.
Here comes Captain and all his kids.
I'm playing Call of Duty and forget to feed something. I don't know if I'm good.
What's that noise? I'm trying to play Call of Duty.
So, Jermaine, you got plenty of time, man. You got the partying. Forget partying at whatever local casino or local club. Try being able to have your private pilot for the jet you own fly you out to Spain.
So we got two people to comment who indulged in some players here. Let's see with some players. Ross says I remember having beers with Pac-Man when he went to WVU Wild Band. And then Jocko says I smoked a blunt with Matt Riddle. There you go.
That is hilarious. So drug testing in the NFL is pretty non-existent over the off season, and everybody knows when it starts kicking in for the season to start.
Yeah, they tell you.
Yeah, like they're very open. So yeah, Joe Zacher is still behind Burton. Yep, he's got to get together. It's a privilege to play in the NFL. Absolutely, he's got the best people to learn from, and he's got a good support system.
I think
but it's an ego thing too. Like that's embarrassing. All this, he doesn't want his name.
Oh, and that's the thing. Look, I'll put it in put this out there where people say Zach isn't tough. He didn't dress him. The man didn't dress a good Burton, and they needed Burton. With T. Higgins not being there, they needed Burton. on Sunday. So to me, that's like they say Zach isn't a disciplinarian. Well, they need it. If that was true, then they would just say, all right, Burton, just go out there and play because we need you. That hurt the team not having Burton out there, and Zach sat him. Zach didn't trust him. So that's
what would have hurt the team more though, with our confidence levels maybe being tested with how the season's gone. Some things, not everybody being locked in. I've said it. I'm not saying that it's a direct cause, but it could have been very, very bad if Burton plays. Let's say he plays. You send that message that, Burton can mess up and he's fine. And then he runs a wrong route or whatever, and it's a pick six early in the game. We get behind. People forget. We got to take chances. We got to do things. Hey, some of those plays you saw second half, trial and error. Literally, hey, let's see what happens here because we had the lead. We got to play the brand of football we really want to play, but you flip it and we're down 14-0. What happens then? Do people start like infighting? Does things start to fall apart because
that's what everybody kept saying?
Back to that Jermaine Burton decision, where instead you flip it and everybody sees, oh shit, coach isn't messing around. Like we really need him, and he's not playing around. He wasn't there, and you could laugh because the walkthroughs you're in joggers. You're literally walking through, and I still think it's the coolest thing that I got to see it, where Joe, drops back to pass and point. That he doesn't throw the ball. He doesn't waste any motion on the arm. It's always, point.
Now, one thing I liked yesterday, and I wrote this down so I made sure I would say it right. I think it was the third down and I think a fourth down that Zach took shots down the field. It was not, and that was my complaint last week. I didn't mind him going for a fourth down. I didn't like throwing it behind the sticks. They didn't convert either one of them, but they were right there. But they were shots down the field, and that's what I think me and all the Bengals fans want. If you're going to take the shot, if you're going for a fourth, third down, take the shot beyond the sticks, and they did.
I won't get too far into it. I'm not going to say it on Twitter. You all, it's not a big deal, but I don't want the Twitter smoke. But hearing a little bit more potential on the last third and fourth we talked about, there could have been more potential there. Obviously they already said that Jamar on the fourth wasn't the only option. Mm-hmm. But apparently there were some things that broke down with execution of that play, and it could have been potentially a big deal, and Jamar was gone. So it was good to see that play should have worked. That
it almost
play
did.
That play will probably come back. So
you talking about the one last? You talking about the one last week?
Yeah, the last.
Oh yeah, well if Yoshivasa makes the block, it probably works, and when nobody's talking about it. But I still liked it that I always like about Zach. People, that's what always cracks me up. People act like Zach never goes for it. I'm like, Zach goes for it a lot, way more than Marvin Lewis would never go for it ever. I can't tell you on my fingers how many times Marvin would go for it, because he wouldn't. We'd always punt the ball. Zach goes for it. And like I said, I don't have a problem with going for it, just the plays. But those two plays, the one to Yoshi, he almost got that. That was like right there. And I can't. Who was the other one too? I'm thinking it was to Jamar, I think. That was another one that there was third or fourth down. I can't remember, and they went for it. But that's what we're talking about that they need to do. And I like the offense was attacking. To me, they were in more of an attack mode than they were.
Do you know? I saw people complaining on the pick six. They're like, why are we still throwing the ball? I'm like, so
you can't be
anyone watching this. I am nobody. I'm just a fan. But if you see me frustrated or argue, or if you see me say something that you know doesn't apply to you, but you wonder like, why is he saying this? It's because of that. Because I sit here, I see all this stuff.
Oh, knowing Cap.
Get any of it. I can't forget any of it. I hate it. But I'm like, of course, dude. Of course, someone's going to complain that we were throwing the ball and going for the throat to put the game away because we threw a pick six.
I think you can't say we didn't run the ball enough. Chase Brown had over 100 yards. I wanted him on that last one to get a touchdown. They were trying to give him the touchdown. I know he had over 100. I don't know how many it was, but the thing I like Cap that I know Dale brought this up to me on the show Friday, that we were having a hard time running the ball on the inside, and his concern, which Dale knows is shit. His concern was the interior defensive line for the Raiders. He thought we'd have a hard time doing it. I don't know the snap count or where it ran, but to me, it looked like the majority of the time that Chase Brown ran it was right up the middle. And we were getting chunks.
Do you remember Teddy last week saying on that third down, he's like, we've got to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And he basically called out some of the missed opportunities, the missed assignments on the offensive line. And I think Teddy, I haven't heard, maybe somebody else has, but I feel like Teddy probably got everybody together and had a conversation about that, because you're right, it did look really different. And that wasn't a slouch D-line. Like, people can say, the Raiders aren't good.
That's a good D-line. That's
all I know is we executed. Like, you look at people and what they did. Burrow gave props to the wide receivers, like not giving up on a play. Like, he's extending, and they went the right direction. They gave him the help that he needed. Apparently, throughout the whole game, people were where they should have been. It was amazing.
Now, Rob Harris says, I do feel like the starters were in a little too long. I tend to agree with you on that, but it's not a big. To me, it's kind of like I kept thinking they were going to take Burrow out. I was kind of surprised he was in there for the kneel down. But there's part of me. It's like
no way he was going out.
That's what I was about to say. It's part of me. It's the first win at home. I think Zach and the players wanted to finish that game. It's the first win at home, so that's where I was a little surprised, but then I kind of think about it, like they wanted to get that win and they wanted to be on the field together to do it. That's just my thoughts. Let's see here.
Who was it here? Hold on. Oh, Ross Incognito had a drink or drank a few with Chad Johnson at AC Marriott. AC's great. Oh, Chad's great. Like, we ran into Chad and TJ at the Holy Grail back in the day, and then of course got to party a little bit later. Tony Blaze, anybody like the Bengals intro when they come out of the first? Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
There's some surprises. They're always working. The whole production crew is always good.
It was awesome. Let's see, Holmes. I know you talked about Trey Henderson earlier, but man, he is a beast. That is so underrated when it comes down to the national media compared to the NFL darlings, where pop poop stains yellow and black. Yeah. Trey doesn't get the love he needs to be. I mean, look, if TJ Watt had a game like that, it would be, oh my God, TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year. He's the greatest defensive lineman in history. Trey Henderson, Trey had 4 sacks. That's about it. We know that. We don't get the love. We don't get the love.
Jocko saying, I feel like Burton's having some sort of mental breakdown. You know what? I don't know if it's a breakdown. It's definitely. I don't know what he's been through. I don't know what he's had to overcome, but it's definitely a test, and I've been there. I mean, I've been fired from job. I take all that I do from what as a teen now. I take my jobs very seriously. I always consider myself a great employee, a hard worker. I've been fired.
I think you're a great employee. You're a great employee of mine.
It sucks.
And of the Bengals too. Sorry, Jocko's up there.
Man, Jocko's just firing off some good stuff.
Yeah, I like this. Do you feel like when Chase has a bad game and gets to his head, Burrow dropped a beautiful dime and he just dropped it? I don't know if it gets in his head. I think it's like Joey. He gets pissed off and he gets frustrated with himself. I don't know if it gets in his head so much. At least I hope not. So, I mean, I'm not in his head. I'm not him, so I don't know.
I think you can find games where it's been a slow start, but then he popped off something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trey is definitely leading the league in sacks. Good to see. So I don't know that it gets in his head. But I'll tell you this: it is not uncommon. I wouldn't say for it to get in somebody's head, but when these star receivers are double and triple and they become, hey, I'm a decoy today. I AJ Green, people don't want to talk about it, but AJ Green had those games where, mentally he was just, not in it. And then when the moment came, yeah, I remember like fourth quarter against the Texans, we're driving to win and fumble. It happens. And that's why you try to keep people involved in the game, but it's just not the way the defense went. So Burrow found who he needed to find. I don't think it gets in his head. I think if there was an issue, they probably talked about it there. But I think Jamar is a little like Joe, as far as the competitiveness. I think it was just it happened.
Now, I missed this.
Oh yeah,
I don't know how
I talked about that earlier.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't see the video. Why did he throw it back? What do you think?
Because he felt like he didn't deserve it. And here's the thing, he definitely deserved it.
Oh God,
he definitely. We everyone there knew he deserved it.
He threw 5 freaking touchdowns.
Everyone saw him throw it back and shake his head. I'm telling you, the dude.
He wants perfection.
The dude is stepping up. Like there are some people who are on Coach Minnick's ass for suggesting that he needed or he could step up a little more as a leader. Coach is right.
He's right.
Joe Burrow is capable of anything. So to ask or hope that he does something that he's currently not doing, I think it's fair. It's a burden of being a phenom. Like, the dude is just amazing. He's saddled with the burden of we know he can do it. So sometimes people ask.
Joe, Trey is so underrated. He was getting in even when he was double teamed. That's what surprised me about last week, that he wasn't. That's what was so shocking to me last week, that he wasn't getting to him last week as I thought he would. Jocko here. Joe is pissed in the locker room celebration. He said, "Get your bodies right. We got a huge game Thursday," which he's right. That's the thing. It's a big turnaround. They're practicing one day. They have 1 day of practice, and I think that's tomorrow. That's it. And then they're leaving Wednesday, and they're heading to Baltimore. So yeah, you got to get. This is a very quick turnaround. You cannot go out there and celebrate the win too much.
He
Sunday.
knows.
Yeah,
he knows
because it's still
going to end up at Love.
I know a couple old white guys that were there. But the thing is, this game is Thursday night is still huge, and we're not out of the woods yet. I mean, we still have got to win this game. If they win this game Thursday, they're 5-5. They're 2-1 in the division. That is huge. And what I'm concerned, my concern is the injury still, because T. Higgins, I don't know about him. I don't know about Orlando Brown.
Somebody earlier talked about B.J. Hill. Have you heard anything?
I haven't heard anything. I don't know. So, those are my concerns.
From Tigers Talk downstairs.
Oh, that's good.
Expected. Bruised ribs. So.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, I have a feeling B.J. Hill likes ribs. he looks like a rib guy.
I like ribs. You know where I like ribs from? Midwest Best Barbecue. Those are delicious.
Absolutely amazing. And I'll tell you what, we can celebrate multiple now. It's going to be my choice. Midwest Best, hands down, number one, no matter what. But you want a little bit of a dive feel. I ended up Saturday at Sinners and Saints.
Yeah.
On Riverfront. They had some good barbecue.
Nice. I've heard of it. Never been there. Dude,
it was a different menu.
There's so many places, good places here to eat. I haven't, because when
Cincinnati barbecue is underrated.
Oh yeah, so Cincinnati food in general is underrated. We got a lot of good food here. So Tom and Paul, when they came over from England last week, I got to hang out with them a couple times. Tom he was here for 2 weeks. He literally had a spreadsheet and of all the freaking restaurants. And I'm going. He goes, "Have you been to these?" I'm like, "Tom, honestly, I've heard of them. I haven't been to half of them." And Tom did his best to hit each and every one of them. And we got some just good. Just I'm not talking about just Skyline, the Roses, Montgomery Inn. Those are ones everybody knows about. Even the little hole in the wall restaurant, knockback.
Yep.
That's good. That's a good wing place.
Yeah,
I
Tom
still
would not
like.
stay away from knockback.
No, he loved knockback. Midwest. I still like the Midwest the best. But Tom went there. I don't know how many times.
Yeah, that's a tough thing because it's like it's difficult when he's literally a foreigner.
Yeah.
It's hard to get
where
up
he's
there.
staying, he was literally a block away from it. He could walk to it. It wasn't.
If he was staying in Loveland, he'd be a Midwest best. I
Yeah.
guarantee.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Because he was trying to
Michael
get out there.
Madden. Didn't they have trouble getting guys on the field for substitutions? I think that pissed off Joe also. I think so too because Joe doesn't care why. It could be a late ad, and I think that's happened sometimes. Like some people are upset with that, like, Zach's late getting the call. I feel like they were lined up early for a lot of the plays, and I feel like they focused on that. Now I could be way off, but
Well, I saw on that one.
that.
It was Eric. I think it was Eric All. I think was it him? I think he was the one because down the end zone that you sit in, he ran on. Then he stopped. Then he ran on. Then he ran on. And then once he ran on, then they got the change, and that's what pissed Joe off. He couldn't figure out. I think it was Eric All. I'm pretty sure it was him.
And here's the thing: I don't know if that was Zach. I don't know if that was player. I don't know if that was whatever.
You don't know what
it's
it is.
Not been something that has been a major issue. People talk about. I mean, I feel like once or twice we end up calling a timeout because of play clock, like a year it feels like, but people make it out to be like twice a game. Rebecca, man, I want to Thursday. Hopefully, hey, it takes two to tango as far as
well,
trades go.
there's a lot of talk about Chase Young getting him, so which I didn't know about that until the chat here. So sorry, I've had other stuff going on. I haven't been able to pay attention to Twitter and social media as much as I'd like to when I prepare for the show. But I mean, so I got a question. Let's just throw it out there. Say the Bengals do trade for Chase Young. To me, that sends a jolt to this team, a jolt to this locker room that, the Bengals never make trades. The Bengals don't do this. And they make a trade and they get Chase Young. That says that tells the players that the front office is with them. They're behind him. I think it's not only it'd be a good trade for a good player.
Yeah, I think
but
it lifts
good
the
for
spirit.
the morale. Yes,
because we have better talent than our record.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. And
we're so injured again.
Including the injuries.
God,
we have better talent than our record. The players were saying that was the first game they've played all three phases.
Yeah.
They were cohesive.
It was. That's what we've been looking for all year.
Yeah,
they haven't been able to do it
now.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Sometimes it happens. I mean, we've seen it happen in KC. Mm-hmm. We've literally seen them start out slow and then turn it on. Maybe we're worse by 1 or 2 games, and we suffered through like losing the entire defensive line.
Basically, we did at the beginning of the season.
Not as bad as some people think,
yeah.
But that game, the Raiders game, needs to be a game that we build on. Not the status. That's not the bar. That's okay. Now, how do we get better? And that's what Joe said. It's like, all right, we don't have time to pat ourselves on the back. We have got to learn from the mistakes and get ready for Thursday. And I absolutely love that.
And the thing is, go ahead.
Jocko said, think Kendall Milton. Milton is a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everybody, I love Travion Williams. Williams got blown up by Crosby on a play, but it's Crosby.
A lot of people get blown up by Crosby.
Now, if you look at Travion Williams, he was noted for his pass blocking in college. That's a big reason why he was drafted. That and rushing for so many yards. He's been a great pass blocker. He's done so many things well every time that he's called. But Milton's a different type of back. So will the team experiment with what this looks like, considering the fact that Zach Moss apparently is going to miss a lot of time? Yes. I recently heard something Chase Brown is a very, very competitive running back. And I love to hear that because I he seems like a really nice guy. Um, he is extremely competitive. And I think his performance deserves running back one. And I think
Yeah.
he's going to argue for that too. I really do. He's got a dog in him that I didn't realize that no one's really going to talk about. But I'm being weird on how I say this, but Chase Chase Brown's a very competitive dude, and I
Chase
love to
Brown,
see it.
dude, I love that was the Chase Brown game for me yesterday. That was awesome. Now, one thing I wrote down here, we're in November. November's jackpot's month. Like, dude, we seem to
Yep.
we get it together. And we started last year. Joe started getting healthy. We started getting together in November. I'm hoping it's happening again. Like I said, I'm nervously confident about Thursday. Now, I like Joe's comment here again because we've proven we can play with the Ratbirds. We should have beat them. I agree with you.
Yep.
Let's take that mentality into Thursday night and be physical. Exactly. And that's honestly, that is where I think Joe is at. That's where Joe's like, this is it, boys. These next 2 weeks, we don't win these games, it's done. And it's a short week, and it's a very hard game on Thursday night on a short week going into Baltimore. They gotta be at the top of their game going into Thursday. That's where I think all these facial expressions and everything from Joe is. This is it. This is coming down to our season. We win these 2 games, we're back in this. We lose one or both of them, which are 1-1, but we're behind the 8 ball again. Like I said, you win Thursday night, you're 2-1 in the division, you're back at 500, you're back in this. I don't think we're going to win the division. I mean, I don't think we're going to catch Baltimore or Pittsburgh. I hope we do, but you never know. But
Hey, the Ravens got beat by the Raiders, who we just demolished.
and they got beat by the Browns, who we killed too. So the thing, it can happen. I believe it's going to happen Thursday. We'll find out. I cannot freaking wait. Cap, you got any final departing words you want to leave for Who Dey Nation before we get the hell out of here?
Stranger 420, Milton's got bad hands. I don't know if he was watching my live pregame or if he was at the game, but yeah, I don't know why Milton was back there practicing returning kicks, but he got a little coaching on one of the bad bobbles. But you know what? I don't care. Chop, I mean, right now I agree because Zach Moss is out, but I think before Zach Moss played well in the spots, but again, like with Rico, injury happens, he shows what he's got, and now it's like, there we go. And yeah, Hilton on Henry. Hilton's got Henry's number.
Hilton
throw him on
Hilton
there.
had a good game yesterday too. There's a lot of guys that had good games.
And I know the hate. I'm scared to death. I don't think I'm going to post this on Twitter, but I got something in the mail today.
Ooh,
Just a little new guy.
I like that.
But the fun part was, can you see that number?
You got glare on it
1
now.
and 2.
Turn it the other way. Oh,
No,
one
I'm
and
not,
2?
because it covers everything up, and you can see
Okay.
the number 1 to 2.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, I got you.
There are 2 of these. I got number 1.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm supporting everybody on this team. I'm supporting Coach. Coach, if there's an issue with substitutions or time getting a play in, hey, I can help you. Give me a call. We can automate a lot of that stuff.
Call him in for the bullpen. Call Cap in.
Listen to Joe. You're going to get a big Super Bowl winning bonus. Listen to Joe. Let's go. Keep the pedal to the metal.
Let's go. And they flexed the Sunday night game.
Yeah,
Chargers.
that's we're probably going to be out there, and man, I'm going to be flying out early Monday. We'll talk about that later.
We'll have fun. All right, Cap. Enjoy it, brother. See ya next
Yes, sir. Hooday.
Monday. Who Dey? All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Go follow Bengals Captain. Go tell everybody Bengals Captain should be fan of the year. He's laughing now, but he should be fan of the year. I'm just saying it. Just putting it out there. I haven't found out anything yet. Hopefully, I think they'll be announcing something soon, but who knows? We will see. But I'd like to thank everybody for watching, along with my wonderful sponsors here. Which, let's see, who am I going to start here? I can start with the new one. The new one I got. Actually, let's go with tomorrow night. Let's go tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I got a live show. at More and Longer House from 6 to 8. Please come down there and join us. It's going to be me, Joe Schmo. Neil will be down there, and a special guest will be Jay Morrison from Sports Illustrated now. He's bounced around in a couple different places. So he will be there as our special guest. Happy hour goes from 3 to 9. What's that mean? That means $5 drafts, house wines, and well drinks, and $2 off appetizers. Also, it is Prime Rib Tuesdays there at the More and Lager House, so you can have some delicious prime ribs. So come on down for that. I also like to thank two of my newest sponsors, which I don't have Priority up here yet. Sorry, Priority, but they're at the bottom. Millions Cafe. I'll be doing my first live show there this Friday. It's going to be me and my dude Harrison, the comedian, who you can also watch right here on ZTV. He's got his own show coming out. But join us at 6:30 at Millions Cafe right there in Mount Lookout Tavern, Mount Lookout Square, right across from Mount Lookout Tavern. Check it out there. We're going to have a good time. And always, shout out to Midwest's Best Barbecue. Go check them out. You need some windows and doors? Check out Meyer Windows and Doors at www.meyercincinnati.com. Also, Westside Peeps, go check out Hail Marys, your ticket to the game. I will not be, Bengals Now is happening today. They're actually taping it probably right now. But I will be back there next Wednesday with Joe, Zach, and Gabby. We're having a good time, so come down there next Wednesday, and you can join us there. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. I want to so badly say this. We're going to be on a run. We're starting our run. I believe it. I'm just going to throw it out there. I believe it. I believe it in my heart of hearts. I believe what Joe is doing. And everybody keeps looking at Joe's pissed. Joe's mad. Joe's pissed. Joe's mad. Joe's focused. Joe wants to win. Joe knows this is it. They got to go to Baltimore. They got to win. I believe they can do it. Joe Burrow is mentally focused. Tate Karras is mentally focused. They're all ready to go. Cam Taylor-Britt's playing better. This whole team, this is the most inclusive win that they've had. Defense played great. Offense played great. Best running game we've had all year. That team shows up Thursday in Baltimore. Ratbirds are going down. You don't believe that? Check it out Thursday. Other than that, that's just sports, baby. See ya!